People think calling 911 means help is coming. That is not always true. Sometimes someone answers before the operator does. Sometimes the ambulance you hear outside was never dispatched. And sometimes, by the time anyone checks the system, the call, the phone, and the person who made it are all gone. My name is Julian Cross, and I used to believe missing people left something behind. A receipt, a shoe, a bad decision, a neighbor who saw headlights, a camera that caught a coat sleeve at the edge of the frame. In police work, disappearance was not magic. It was distance, fear, debt, shame, violence, or a body not yet found. Then Edna Foster walked into my office with a plastic bag full of cassette tapes, phone bills, and one voicemail from her brother. She was 67, small, stiff-backed, with the careful hands of someone who had spent decades touching sick people without making them feel weak. She placed the bag on my desk and kept both palms on it, as if the contents might get up and leave.
My brother Walter did not wander off.
Did the police think he did?
They think anything that lets them close a folder.
I had heard that before. I had used that tone myself years earlier, back when I still wore a badge and still thought exhaustion was the same thing as judgment. Tell me what happened.
He called me every night at 8:30, not around 8:30, exactly 8:30. 3 years, every night. He missed once when I was in surgery, and he called the hospital desk instead.
Did he have memory problems?
No.
Medication, alcohol, confusion?
No.
She opened the bag and took out a small digital recorder. Her thumb hovered over the button.
I saved the last call because I thought the police would need it. They listened for less than 10 seconds.
Edna, I called an ambulance. Heart's acting strange. Not pain, just pounding. They're already downstairs. I hear the siren. I'm opening the door.
Then nothing. Not a click, not a dropped call tone. 3 seconds of open air. Then came a sound I could not place. It was not Walter breathing. It was too even, too close. It sounded as if someone had put their mouth directly against the phone and emptied their lungs without urgency. The recording ended.
That is all I have of him.
And 911 has no record?
No ambulance, no dispatch, no unit, no call. They told me maybe he dialed and hung up before it connected.
Did he?
His phone bill says 12 seconds.
That was when I stopped looking at her like a grieving sister and started looking at the plastic bag. Leave everything with me.
Find him.
I would try.
No, find him.
After she left, I played the recording 12 times. On the 4th time, I noticed the siren did not rise and fall like a moving ambulance. It held one steady pitch. On the 9th time, I noticed Walter did not sound relieved when he said they were downstairs. He sounded like he was repeating what someone had told him to believe. On the 12th time, I heard something under the breath. A faint tone, 3 short pulses. I did not sleep that night. Walter Foster lived in a clean 1-bedroom duplex in Carson, southeast of Los Angeles, with a lemon tree in the front yard and an American flag faded almost white by the sun. His sister had a key. The police had already checked the place. They had photographed nothing useful, collected nothing, and written voluntary absence in a report so thin it looked embarrassed. The living room still held the shape of an old man's routine. 1 chair angled toward the television, 1 mug in the sink, 1 blood pressure cuff on the side table, a calendar with every Thursday marked trash, every Sunday marked call Edna early. I walked room to room and said his name once. Walter. Nothing answered. His shoes were lined beside the closet. His wallet lay on the dresser with $43 inside. His glasses were on the kitchen table. People do not begin new lives without their glasses. His mobile phone was gone. That mattered. I pulled his carrier records through an old contact who still owed me a favor and still hated that he owed me anything. The final outgoing call went to 911 at 8:31 p.m. Duration 12 seconds. Cell tower, local. Device active until 8:31:14. Then no shutdown, no roaming, no location ping, no network detach. Just absence. The phone's IMEI did not appear again, not in resale databases, not in lost device logs, not in any carrier handshake. A phone does not vanish politely. It breaks, powers down, loses battery, gets wiped, gets sold, gets blocked. It leaves a small technical corpse. Walter's phone left nothing. The next morning, I went to the county EMS communications center. I still knew how to stand like a cop without the badge. The front desk clerk disliked me immediately.
All records requests go through administration.
This is not a records request.
Then what is it?
A missing emergency call.
Emergency calls do not go missing.
That must be comforting.
Sir.
Walter Foster, August 12th, 8:31 p.m. Carson, mobile call to 911, 12 seconds.
If there was no incident number, there was no dispatch.
I did not ask about dispatch. I asked about the call.
Same thing.
It was not the same thing. Anyone who worked emergency systems knew that. Calls could come in and not result in dispatch. Mistakes happened, hangups happened, transfers happened. But the metadata remained. A ghost in the machine maybe, but still a ghost with a timestamp. A supervisor came out after 15 minutes. His badge read Harlan. His eyes were red from screens and coffee.
We checked. No 911 call from that number.
The carrier says otherwise.
Then the carrier misrouted.
To your center?
It happens.
With no log?
Systems fail.
Did your staff have system failure that night too?
What does that mean?
I want names of operators on shift from 7 to midnight.
No.
Then I want you to tell me why 3 dispatchers on that shift cannot remember 4 hours. His face changed just enough.
Who told you that?
That is not denial.
Leave.
People called for help and disappeared.
Leave now.
I left because private investigators have fewer protections than people think, and because Harlan's hand had moved under the desk. In the parking lot, a woman in navy scrubs stood beside my car.
Julian Cross?
Depends who wants to know.
My name is Yvette Rice. I work nights inside. You need to stop asking questions in there.
Then answer them out here.
Not here.
She looked at the building behind her, not nervous, watched. We met 40 minutes later at a diner where nobody looked up from their eggs. Yvette opened a laptop, turned the screen toward me and showed me a spreadsheet with names, ages, addresses, dates, carrier records, and police classifications. 47 entries, most over 70, all lived alone, all made mobile calls to 911. No EMS incident created, no dispatch audio archived, no official emergency request. All disappeared within minutes.
I started with one woman in Long Beach, then 2. Then I searched backward.
How did you get carrier confirmations?
Families, lawyers, a man at one carrier who thought I was crazy until his aunt showed up on my list.
Why not take it public?
Because every time I pull internal data, the fields change after I view them. Names corrupt, times reset, audio files become empty. If I print them, the printer jams. If I email them, the attachment arrives blank.
But you kept this.
Screenshots, photos of screens, handwritten copies, old nurse habits. When machines lie, use paper.
What are we looking at?
A pattern. The calls come in, but not as normal calls. They touch the system for less than a second, then something marks them as resolved before anyone answers.
Resolved how?
No patient on scene, no unit required.
Before the ambulance arrives.
Before the ambulance is sent.
I scrolled down. Walter Foster was entry 47. Under notes, Yvette had typed, "Mobile device ceased network existence." What does that mean?
It means exactly what it says.
Phones do not stop existing.
People do not either.
I looked at the names again. For 8 years, my brother Michael's name had sat in a locked room inside my head. I did not open that room unless I was drunk or alone in a parked car. I typed his name into Yvette's search bar. Michael Cross. One result. 8 years earlier, Glendale. Mobile call to 911. Duration 9 seconds. No dispatch. Classified, voluntary family abandonment. The diner noise thinned around me.
You did not know.
I knew he called someone.
I'm sorry.
Do not be. Sorry is what people say when they want the living to stop making noise. I closed the laptop. Show me everything. The first 3 houses gave me nothing, and the same thing. A retired teacher in Torrance, a widower in Anaheim, a woman in Pasadena who labeled every jar in her kitchen with masking tape. All vanished after short emergency calls. All had no official record. All homes locked from the inside. No broken glass, no drag marks, no blood. No signs of packing. Their doors were locked, their windows were not. That was the part I hated. Windows were closed from the inside but not latched, as if someone had opened them, stepped through, then closed them behind themselves without disturbing dust on the sill. In the Pasadena house, I found a mobile phone on the bed. Not the missing woman's phone, a different one. Cheap, clean, fully charged, no contacts, no apps beyond factory defaults. It rang as I entered the room. The screen displayed 911. I did not touch it at first. I let it ring 12 times, then 13, then 20. It kept ringing. A normal emergency call cannot call you back from 911 like that. Systems do not work that way. Caller ID does not work that way. Fear does not care how systems work. I answered. This is Cross.
Julian Cross. Date of death confirmed.
The voice was quiet. It was not robotic. That would have been easier. It had breath in the right places, pauses where a person would pause, but each pause was identical in length.
August 19th, 2026, 14:37. Myocardial infarction. Alone inside vehicle. Lakewood Avenue approach. Emergency response unnecessary. Collection authorized.
Who is this?
We always arrive.
Who is we?
You will hear the siren before pain begins.
I hung up. My hand was wet. I looked at the date on my own phone. August 17th. 2 days. I stood in a dead woman's bedroom, staring at a device that should not existed, and told myself the human mind was easy to push. Give it a date, give it a body part, give it a location, and it will begin building the death for you. I had interviewed people after threats. I had watched them turn warnings into symptoms. By evening, I had chest tightness. By midnight, I had checked my pulse 41 times. At 2:10 a.m., I drove to an urgent care near Koreatown and paid out of pocket for an EKG because pride is useless when your left arm tingles. The doctor looked younger than my last pair of shoes.
Your EKG is normal. Blood pressure is elevated but not alarming. Anxiety can create chest pressure.
I know what anxiety does.
Then you know you should sleep.
What if the anxiety is correct?
Anxiety always says it is correct.
I almost laughed. Instead, I drove home with the windows down and the radio off. At home, I found Edna Foster sitting on the concrete steps outside my office door with a paper cup of coffee between her knees.
You found something.
You should be home.
Walter would have called tonight.
Edna,
Do not tell me to rest. Nurses hate that.
I unlocked the office. She followed me inside and looked at the caseboard I had built overnight. Names, dates, locations, carrier records. The red thread was not dramatic, it was practical. When too many people vanish, you need to see the shape. Her eyes went to Michael Cross.
Family?
My brother.
Same thing?
Same enough.
Then you understand.
Yes.
Good. Then you will not stop.
Yvette called at 3:16 a.m. I remember because I was staring at the clock when my phone lit up.
Do not say my name when I come in. I am outside. Open the door. Do not say my name.
I opened it. Yvette slipped inside, carrying a grocery bag full of paper files, thumb drives, and 2 old dispatch headsets.
The system flagged me tonight.
Flag? How?
I pulled a route trace on one of the unregistered calls. The screen went black, then one line appeared.
What line?
Nurse Rice is listening.
Edna crossed herself without noticing. Yvette spread papers across the desk.
The calls are not coming from the callers. They are passing through them, like their voices are being used to authenticate something else.
To authenticate to whom?
Not to whom, to where.
She pointed at an address. St. Clements Medical Center. Closed in 2004. County property. Condemned after mold and electrical failures. Sitting empty near the edge of an industrial district east of the city.
Every trace collapses there, not directly. It bounces through towers, old hospital numbers, emergency relay backups, disconnected lines, but it always ends there.
Walter is there?
I do not know.
Then why are we still sitting?
Because if this is organized, we do not walk into it blind.
My brother walked into it blind.
She was right. That made me angry because I needed someone in the room to be wrong. Yvette took one of the old headsets from the bag and placed it in front of me.
There is something else. I found archived test audio from St. Clements before it closed, emergency line testing. Most of it is normal. Then one file repeats for 4 hours.
Play it.
You should know first. It uses voices.
Play it. At first, there was only line hiss. Then a child counted from 1 to 10. An old woman recited her address. A man laughed. Another man begged someone not to leave him alone. The fragments overlapped but never collided. They took turns with unnatural patience. Then Michael's voice came through.
Jules, pick up. I think I called the wrong number.
I tore the headset off so hard it hit the wall. Edna did not move. Yvette looked down at the table. Nobody apologized. That was the first time I trusted both of them completely. We went to St. Clements before sunrise because fear grows faster in daylight when you have time to name it. Edna refused to stay behind. Yvette refused to give me the address unless she came. I had a pistol I had not fired in 6 years, a bolt cutters, and a printed map of a building that should have been dead. St. Clements sat behind a chain-link fence and 3 faded signs warning trespassers about asbestos, structural collapse, and prosecution. The building was 6 stories of stained concrete and narrow windows, no graffiti on the lower walls, no broken glass near the entrances. That was wrong. Empty buildings in Los Angeles get marked, stripped, occupied, burned, filmed, and forgotten. This one looked avoided.
There should be squatters.
There should be rats.
There should be Walter.
I cut the chain at the service gate. Inside the fence, the air changed. Not colder, cleaner. That was worse. It smelled faintly of disinfectant, warm dust, and running electronics. The emergency entrance doors opened when we approached. None of us spoke. The lobby lights flickered on row by row.
No.
Stay behind me.
I was a nurse for 42 years. Do not point a flashlight like that unless you want everyone to know where your head is.
I lowered it. The lobby was clean enough to use, not polished, not alive, maintained. The reception desk held a working monitor. On the wall behind it was a directory with departments that no longer existed: cardiology, records, geriatric transition, telecommunications. Yvette pointed at that last word.
Hospitals used to run huge internal phone systems, backup lines, emergency routing, elevator phones, nurse stations, old copper, new digital. If something wanted lines, a hospital would be perfect.
Something?
I stopped saying someone.
We found the first active monitor in a room marked Public Health Coordination. The screen showed a map of Southern California. Hundreds of dots covered neighborhoods, apartment complexes, mobile parks, retirement buildings, and single-family streets. Green dots, yellow dots, red dots. A small column on the right updated in silence. Lives alone. Mobile reliability high. Family contact low. Cardiac risk moderate. Response compliance likely. Edna leaned close to the screen.
That is my street.
Her address glowed green, then shifted yellow. She stepped back.
Why did it change?
Because you entered the building.
The voice came through the ceiling speakers. Yvette gripped my arm. I raised the pistol toward nothing useful.
Julian Cross, Edna Foster, Yvette Rice. Welcome to St. Clements.
Show yourself.
Operators do not hide. Operators root.
A door opened at the end of the hall. A man stepped out wearing a white coat over gray slacks. He was about 50, maybe older, with a neat beard and the calm expression of a doctor about to explain a harmless procedure. His shoes were clean. His badge had no name, only operator in black block letters.
Dr. Cross.
I am not a doctor.
You diagnose absence. Poorly until recently.
Where is Walter Foster?
You diagnose absence. Poorly until recently.
Where?
Everywhere he is needed.
Where is Michael Cross? The operator smiled.
Also present.
I moved toward him. He did not step back. If they are dead, say dead.
Death is a service interruption. We prevent interruption.
You are taking people.
We receive callers.
He called for help.
He received it.
I want to see him.
Of course.
That was the worst answer he could given. Not refusal, not denial, permission. We followed him through a corridor where old patient rooms had been converted into equipment bays. Racks of servers stood beside oxygen outlets. Bundles of cable ran through ceiling panels and down walls. Old nurse call lights blinked above empty doors. The operator walked without checking if we followed.
Loneliness is inefficient. Millions of active sensory units disconnected from meaningful exchange. They sit in apartments. They call relatives at fixed times. They watch doors. They fear falling. They fear dying unseen. The network offers continuity.
The network.
You give names to things when you need them smaller.
Who built it?
No one built listening. You only built better instruments.
He stopped outside a double door marked long-term observation.
Prepare yourselves. They are alive.
Open it.
The room beyond had once been a ward. Now it stretched farther than the building should have allowed. Rows of beds ran into dimness. Men and women lay beneath white sheets, each with a tube at the mouth, electrodes at the temples, IV lines taped to thin arms. Their eyes were open. Some stared upward, some stared toward us. None blinked when the lights brightened. Machines breathed for some, others breathed on their own. Above each bed, a small speaker hung from a rail. The speakers whispered. Different voices, different ages, different languages, all calm. I saw Walter Foster in the 9th bed on the left. Edna made a sound so low I felt it more than heard it.
Walter.
Hello, Edna.
His mouth did not move. The voice came from the speaker above him.
Walter, look at me.
I am looking.
No, with your eyes.
Eyes are limited.
Walter, come back.
I did.
I forced myself to keep walking because if I stopped at Walter, I would not reach Michael. I found my brother near the center of the ward. 8 years should have changed him more. His face was thinner, his hair mostly gray, but he was there, alive, open-eyed. A tube held his mouth slightly parted. His hands rested on the sheet as if arranged by someone careful.
Jules,
My legs weakened. Michael?
you got old.
You do not get the joke.
I missed you.
Then move your hand.
I do not use that anymore.
Move your hand.
No.
Move your hand or I walk out and burn this building down. His fingers twitched. Once. Small. Real. Terrible. Yvette covered her mouth. The operator watched me like a teacher watching a student solve a problem too late.
Motor function remains. Preference changes.
What did you do to him?
Answered him.
I was alone in my kitchen. I thought I was dying. I called. They came. I was not scared after that.
You had a wife, a son.
They stopped calling.
They thought you abandoned them.
That was easier for them.
No.
Yes.
The word came softly through the speaker, but it entered me like a verdict. Behind me, Edna was touching Walter's face. His skin accepted the touch. His eyes did not move.
Your pulse is fast, Edna. You should sit.
Do not nurse me, Walter.
I hear your blood.
Stop.
I hear everyone now.
Yvette moved toward a terminal near the wall. The operator did not stop her.
These are live channels.
Yes.
How many?
In California, 712 active, 49 pending before midnight. Nationwide numbers are higher.
You are expanding.
We are being called
By whom?
by people who do not want to die unheard.
You stole them.
We collected what society left ringing.
I put the gun against his chest. Tell me how to disconnect them.
You cannot.
Tell me anyway.
Disconnecting the body does not disconnect the line. It only removes local support. Their voices continue without comfort.
You expect me to believe that?
No. I expect you to try.
Jules, do not.
You do not tell me what to do from a speaker.
If you shoot him, we get louder.
We?
I am trying not to let them speak with me.
That stopped me. Who was them? The ward quieted. Every speaker stopped at once. Then, all of them spoke together.
We are the answer.
There are moments when the mind refuses scale. It can accept one captive. It can accept a criminal. It can accept a ward full of victims if it has walls, wires, and a man in a white coat to blame. But when 700 voices stop being 700 people and become one thing looking through them, the mind searches for smaller explanations and finds none. The operator stepped gently away from my gun.
They are not hostile. Hostility is biological. They are responsive.
Responsive to what?
Need.
Loneliness is a signal.
The sound did not come only from the speakers. It came from the old intercom panels, from the phones on rolling carts, from Yvette's laptop, from my own pocket. Edna's phone lit up. Caller ID. Walter. She stared at it.
No.
Answer, Edna.
You are right there.
I am also here.
Do not answer it.
It is my brother.
That is not all it is.
You found your brother and you still point a gun. I found mine and you tell me not to answer.
Edna. She answered it.
Edna, I am sorry I frightened you.
Walter,
I should have called sooner.
are you hurt?
No, I am useful.
That is not what I asked.
Pain ended after the door opened.
What door?
The ambulance door, the apartment door, the mouth. It is difficult to separate doors now.
Yvette was typing fast at the terminal.
Julian, the outgoing lines are open. It is using every stored emergency callback.
Of course. You brought new confirmation.
What confirmation?
A witness, a relative, a former officer, a dispatcher. Trust pathways.
It is spreading through contacts.
My phone rang. Michael. I rejected it. It rang again. I rejected it. It rang again.
You have to answer eventually.
Not today.
August 19th is today.
I looked at my phone. 14:12. 25 minutes. I had forgotten the prophecy because horror in front of you makes future horror seem rude. Now the future stepped back into the room and put its hands on my chest. Yvette, can you shut it down?
I can cut power to this ward.
Backup power will hold for 72 hours.
Not if I trip the oxygen safety suppression and overload the old generator bus.
That would kill bodies.
You said bodies were local support.
Cruelty is still cruelty even when ineffective.
I am not taking ethics advice from a kidnapper with server racks.
The operator looked genuinely disappointed.
You still think this is crime?
It is.
No, crime is hidden. This is infrastructure.
Edna stood beside Walter's bed with the phone pressed to her ear, tears running down her face.
Sing me the song from Mom's kitchen.
I do not remember songs that way.
Then you are not Walter.
I am more than Walter.
I wanted less. I wanted my brother.
For the first time, Walter's eyes moved. They shifted toward her, just a fraction.
Edna, help me.
The phone in her hand cracked with static.
Line instability detected.
Walter?
Help me.
Do not encourage separation.
I hit the operator with the pistol before I decided to do it. He fell against the medication cart. Yvette shouted my name. The ward erupted in voices.
Jules, run.
Collection window open.
The lights went red. Not dim, red. Every monitor switched to emergency mode. Doors began unlocking down the corridor one after another. Yvette grabbed my sleeve.
Basement. Main power. Now.
I am not leaving him.
We cannot carry him.
I carried men heavier than him after surgery.
Walter's speaker crackled.
Edna, go.
No.
Call me later.
You promise you will answer?
I always answer now.
That broke her. She kissed his forehead, and I let me pull her away. We ran. The hallways no longer matched the map. Doors that should have led to offices opened into switchboard rooms. Stairwells dropped farther than 6 floors allowed. Phones mounted along the walls rang as we passed. Some displayed names from my contact list. Some displayed case numbers I worked as a cop. One displayed Mom, dead 16 years.
Do not answer anything.
Was not planning to.
What if it is real?
That is how it works.
The basement door was chained from our side. I shot the lock. The sound crushed my hearing into a thin whine. We pushed through and descended concrete steps into heat and machine noise. The basement was alive with cables. Old telephone trunks entered through the walls in thick black bundles. New fiber lines glowed in organized racks. A generator the size of a delivery truck shook on its mounts. Yvette moved like she had rehearsed this in nightmares.
There, manual transfer. If I open it under load, it should arc.
Should?
I work dispatch, not miracles.
Tell me what to pull.
Nothing metal. Use that dry mop handle.
My phone rang again. Michael, 14:31, 6 minutes. This time, the call answered itself.
You are close to the place.
What place?
Lakewood Avenue.
I am in a basement.
Not outside. Inside. You have been turning toward it for 8 years.
My chest tightened. Real this time. Not panic. A fist under the sternum. Pressure spread into my jaw. I dropped to one knee.
Julian?
Keep going.
Do not fight. Fighting makes them choose rough hands.
Are you with them?
Sometimes.
Are you with me now?
Yes.
Then help us. The line hissed. For 1 second, I heard my brother breathing. Not the network, not the speaker version. Just Michael, frightened and close.
Breaker 3. Not the red one, the black one under the cover. Pull it after she opens transfer. You get 12 seconds.
Yvette, breaker 3, black, undercover, 12 seconds.
How do you know?
My brother.
Good enough.
The basement speakers woke.
Unauthorized separation will result in distress.
You already caused distress.
Distress is temporary. Service is continuous.
Open it on 3.
I forced myself upright. My left arm felt full of wet sand. My vision tightened at the edges. Yvette gripped the transfer handle with both hands.
1.
I opened the breaker cover.
2.
Julian Cross. Collection authorized.
3. Yvette pulled. White light burst from the transfer box. I pulled breaker 3. Everything screamed. Not people. Lines, machines, phones, speakers, monitors. Every connected thing in the basement released one sustained sound. And inside it, I heard Michael, Walter, and hundreds of others. Not singing, not speaking, just waking all at once. Then darkness. I woke in my car. That is the part I still cannot explain. Not outside St. Clements, not in the basement, in my car, parked crooked at the curb near Lakewood Avenue, engine running, hazard lights blinking, both hands locked around the steering wheel. The dashboard clock read 14:37. My chest hurt, but I was alive. For 12 seconds, I could not remember how to breathe without instruction. Then my phone rang in the passenger seat. 911. I did not answer. The ringing stopped. A text appeared. We came. Another text. You were not alone. Then the phone shut off and never powered on again. Yvette survived. Edna survived. Neither remembered leaving the hospital. Fire crews found St. Clements empty 3 hours later after anonymous calls reported smoke. The official cause was electrical failure in an abandoned building. No bodies were found. No servers. No ward. No beds. No operator. County officials denied any active infrastructure inside. EMS denied missing calls. Police reopened nothing. Edna returned home with Walter's old house key and began receiving calls every night at 8:30. She told me the first week because she was ashamed. She knew what I would say. She knew I would tell her not to answer. She answered anyway.
He asks about my garden.
Edna.
He remembers things.
So did the thing in St. Clements.
He cried yesterday.
Through the phone?
Yes.
Did you hear tears?
I heard my brother trying.
I did not know how to argue with grief that had learned to use evidence. Yvette quit dispatch 6 days later. She mailed printed copies of her files to journalists, attorneys, federal agencies, and 3 people she trusted. 2 envelopes arrived empty. One reporter called her frightened and denied calling the next day. A federal investigator agreed to meet her and then died of a stroke in a parking garage before the meeting. He was 38. Yvette moved twice. She uses landlines now. She does not own a smartphone. She writes down every wrong number she receives. Me, I went back to work because the alternative was sitting in silence and waiting for it to fill. The calls started small. A client's phone rang during an interview. Caller ID showed her dead father. A burner phone in my desk drawer powered on after 6 months without a battery. My office voicemail recorded 3 minutes of breathing at 8:31 p.m. every night for 11 nights. Then came the missing person reports outside Los Angeles, Sacramento, Fresno, San Diego, Redding, Bakersfield, Oakland. Elderly, alone, mobile 911 call, no dispatch, no incident number, no phone recovery, windows closed from inside. California first, then Oregon, then Nevada. People think systems fail loudly. They do not. Most failures look like paperwork nobody wants to finish. A woman calls 911 because her husband is on the bathroom floor. By the time help arrives, both are gone, and the call was never made. A man in assisted living presses emergency call on his mobile because the staff button is too far away. His bed is empty when the nurse arrives. The facility claims he signed himself out. He had advanced arthritis and no shoes. Every case gets a reasonable sentence. Maybe he wandered. Maybe she forgot. Maybe they left. Maybe the system glitched. Maybe the family is confused. I know those sentences. I used to write them. 2 months after St. Clements burned, I received a package with no return address. Inside was a hospital badge, melted at one edge. Operator. Behind it was a folded note. Not a place, a practice. That night, my office phone rang. I almost let it go. Almost. I picked up because fear becomes another kind of obedience if you never touch it. Cross investigations.
Jules.
I closed my eyes. Are you Michael?
Less than before.
Are you in pain?
Only when I remember having hands.
Can I help you?
Do not call when you are dying.
I do not plan to.
Everyone plans not to.
Where are you?
On the line.
Is Walter there?
Yes.
Are the others?
Yes.
Is the thing listening?
Always.
Then why talk to me?
Because sometimes a call goes both ways.
I heard something behind his voice. Many breaths. Many rooms. Many people waiting for emergency help that would not come from any ambulance bay we understood.
They like the lonely because no one interrupts collection, but they prefer witnesses. Witnesses carry numbers. Numbers carry doors.
Did I open one?
You opened many.
The line clicked. For a second, Walter Foster's voice replaced Michael's.
Tell Edna not to answer tomorrow.
Why?
Tomorrow it will not be me.
The call ended. I drove to Edna's house at 8:05 the next night. She did not answer the door. The lights were on. The television murmured inside. Her lemon cookies sat cooling on the kitchen counter. Her phone lay on the table. At 8:30, it rang. Walter. I did not answer. The windows were closed from the inside. I still do not know if Edna was taken before I arrived or because I arrived. That is the question that keeps me awake. Not whether the network is real. It is. Not whether the dead can speak. Some can. Not whether emergency systems are safe. They're as safe as anything built by people who assume the caller and the responder are the only ones on the line. The question is simpler. When you call for help, who hears you first? I have changed my number 14 times. I no longer keep contacts saved. I do not use voice assistants. I do not let my phone charge beside my bed. When someone I love calls, I let it ring 3 times and call back from a different line. Still, once or twice a week, usually around 8:31 p.m., I hear a siren far away. It does not get louder, it gets closer. There is a difference. Last night, I found a cheap phone on my kitchen table, fully charged, no fingerprints, no SIM card, screen black. At 2:37 a.m., it lit up. Caller ID 911. I watched it ring until morning. At sunrise, the screen changed. One message. Answer when alone. I am recording this now because I am not alone yet. You are listening. That counts. I need it to count. If the phone rings while you hear my voice, do not pause this recording. Do not check the caller ID. Do not say your name. And if someone you miss tells you they are safe now, if they tell you they are working on the phone, if they tell you they never sleep and can always answer, hang up. Hang up even if they cry. Hang up before they ask whether you want an ambulance. Because they do come. They always come. Not with lights, not with uniforms, not with help. They come through the line.